The nerve center of job site automation and 3D machine control is the site plan, which is basically a digital version of the paper plans you work from now. Sometimes called a digital terrain model or DTM, the big advantage to working with a digital site plan is that you can plug it into any component of the system and have all the specs for the entire job accessible. Let's look at how to create a digital site plan. All new construction needs a topo survey to measure the site and to calculate the cut and fill volumes of earth to be moved. Once the real ground is measured, the planning and design process creates a site plan and the blueprints for the project. This contains almost all the information the contractor needs. With the Topcon system, the contractor can have a digital site plan with all specifications for every phase of the job, just like a set of blueprints. But this digital version can be plugged into field controllers and control boxes in your machines on flash memory cards, the same cards you use in a digital camera.
We get topo from the surveyor, which then we go out and we topo the site using Topcon to GPS the site to compare with what the surveyor gets us. Then I'll take the AutoCAD files and convert that from 2D to a 3D form to be used in Topcon. We like the comprehensiveness of the Topcon system, that we use that pretty much throughout the whole process.
The other key to machine control is GPS Plus technology. As you may know, GPS stands for Global Positioning System, a network of satellites that send continuous tracking signals to the Earth. Topcon products provide GPS Plus, which adds 17 additional satellites from other systems to give you uninterrupted productivity. Our users report almost no satellite downtime whatsoever. With error-corrected GPS Plus, you can measure horizontal position to within a couple hundredths of a foot, and vertical position to a tenth of a foot or better. Combine this GPS signal with a digital site plan, and every device, from a handheld field controller to a motor grader, always knows exactly where it is on the site, in 3 dimensions. How this extra versatility and power gets used will be much clearer if we just follow a few contractors out on the job. They can help explain how Topcon's system pays out big dividends in those 2 precious resources, time and money. We'll see firsthand how Topcon 3D machine control has allowed them to refine their bids, their schedule, their materials estimates, and their staking procedures. And we'll hear from operators who are much more effective and independent on the job, and foremen, grade checkers, and the GC about how Topcon's machine control system has made them more competitive.
I don't know how we can operate without it.
It's the first day on the job site, and this gives us a chance to see how using GPS is much like using lasers, but with some key advantages. You've probably been using lasers on your jobs for years. When you start a project and you want to use your laser to control the grade, what do you do now? You set up the tripod, put the laser on it, put your laser sensor on the grade rod, and bench in from a control point. Then you set the laser receiver on the machine, bench it in, and start grading. It's very similar with your GPS Plus equipment. When you go out to work, you set up a tripod. But now you put on the GPS Plus base station. It's only one component. The GPS Plus receiver, radio, battery, and antenna are all in one small package. This base station is the necessary first step for any GPS system. It's the piece that corrects for error in the GPS transmission and provides that error correction to every other GPS Plus device on the job. Now, instead of a grade rod and laser sensor, you'll use a pole with the GPS Plus receiver and a field controller. Very similar to your laser gear. This first day, and you only do this once, you will bench in. We call it localizing. We'll use at least 5 control points, which were established and staked by the surveyors to orient the job. These control points allow the system to conform the site plan to the site itself with very high accuracy. We save this information to the job file in our field controller and in the control box of all the machines we are using with GPS Plus on this project. Now you're ready to work. From now on, the satellites and digital site plan give the contractor full site control without the need for additional construction staking. Spot check, calculate quantities or volumes, or continue excavation at all hours and days. This is the real power of the system. You can make the decisions needed to move forward, without losing time waiting on additional measurements to verify elevations and design.